Is it working now? Yo, Gabo Lima, what a name. That's crazy. Love that. How you guys doing today? You guys doing okay? Are you what games you playing? What are your goals for the day? Are you just chilling? Are you just having fun? I like ya at G. Sorry. Logo. White Nightbot says something in Chinese when I'm saying hello, Braden. I programmed it so that whenever someone says hello, it says 안녕하세요 in Korean, which is hello in Korean. The reason I do that is because as of 2020, I'm now very interested in Korean. So after I lived there for like 6 months this year, so I really miss it. It's one of those just weird things that when I was setting up Nightbot, I was like, what should I make hello's response be? Okay. I've been waiting to talk to you. How do I pronounce your name? It's just Wolf. It's 2 V's like a W. I like that. It's badass. Well, dude. First of all, feel free to tell us what game you play, who you are. Introduce yourself to the chat, and feel free to ask questions. Why did I start my stream later than yesterday? So earlier today, I was supposed to, I don't know if you remember, but I was supposed to have an interview with Ron Rambo Kim and talk to him about aim training. So I kind of like set out my morning as just like interview time. We ended up having to move the interview, but I had other stuff to catch up on. So I was like, well, I wasn't planning to start the stream until later anyways, so I might as well get some stuff done and then I'll start the stream when I can. So yeah, it'll probably be the same tomorrow if I end up streaming at all. It'll probably start relatively late because I will be talking to him tomorrow. Because for me right now, it's 10 p.m. I'm glad I'm awake. I'm glad you're awake too, dude. I'm glad you could catch at least a little bit of this before you get tired. But it's the weekend, so maybe 10 p.m. isn't that late for you. I don't know. Definitely not for me. If I can get in bed before 12, like before midnight, then I'm like golden, but that just never happens. For me, I have to go to bed before 9 p.m. It's my rule at my home. That's a good rule, though. That's good. Are you training aim only to make a video for a game? So yeah, I'm training aim very specifically for a challenge that I've kind of set for myself. I'm doing a lot of research on how to improve aim most effectively, and I thought it'd be fun to kind of do a 10-day experiment to see what aim training is like and see how much I can improve my aim, seeing as I admittedly have pretty bad aim when it comes to PC. So hopefully I can go from like below average to above average. Why 10 days? Because 10 days just seems like an approachable goal. I would love to do something beyond that, but I think this is like a good start. If I make like a video and show that people can make, like, let's say you don't do aim training, right? Let's say you've just like, you're too lazy to do it, and then someone shows you that within only 10 days you can improve your aim just by using some sort of aim trainer. Like, that's like a motivational thing. If I said, oh, you have to train 100 hours just to improve your aim, then they might be like, I'm not going to try aim trainers now. Like, that's too much of a commitment. I think just 10 days is like an approachable goal to go from like below average to hopefully above average. So yeah, I guess I just had the motivation in mind. And not a week. I think, I don't know, like for me, just like 10 days just seems like a more realistic amount of time. I wasn't sure what 7 days would be like. Maybe if I accomplish the like best results within 7 days, maybe I would like make the video focus specifically on those 7 days, but I think it'd be cool to see what 10 days does to me. I also think a lot of people do challenges where they'll do an hour a day for 30 days. So I really like the idea of trying to hit 30 hours that they would hit in a smaller amount of time. But I guess that was like the real motivation why I chose 10 days, because 3 hours a day seems more realistic than anything beyond that. And I wanted to do 30 hours in a short amount of time. So guys, you might notice if you've been watching the stream previous days, all of my high scores in my data are completely gone. I had to upgrade my the solid state drive in my laptop, and when that happens, it completely erased all my AimLabs data, which I was surprised by, because with AimLabs you have an account. So I assumed that everything was tied to your account, that it was like all my data was stored in the cloud, but it wasn't. So I had to remake my AimLabs routine, which took a bit of time, and now I have none of my data anymore. So we're not necessarily starting fresh. I still have all my benchmark scores, and that's what really matters, but I just can't get excited about hitting high scores now. at least for a few days. Okay, my name is Githa. Try my best to pronounce that. In Canada, we would do the A as the main sound in that, so it'd be Gaith, but I don't know if that's even close. I've been watching your videos for 2 years and it really helped me out in Call of Duty, but I have a problem in high sensitivity situations. High sensitivity situations? Like high intensity, sorry. High intensity situations, you crumble, so I guess under the anxiety and fear to play against good players because I know I'm not going to play well and I'll get scared. How do I improve my mentality? I used to be so confident in destroy any player, but now I'm scared to play against good players because I don't want to ruin my reputation. Dude, that's the number one thing that you have wrong for you. Like, I think you have a very performance mindset. You're not focused on improving. Usually improvement means that you're gonna have to sacrifice your short-term performance. You're gonna have to challenge yourself, go against people who are better than you, and you're gonna have to give up your ego and lose a lot. But if you're scared to do that, you're not gonna improve and you're gonna have anxiety. So the number one thing is to stop caring about your reputation in the short term, because eventually you'll get good if you focus on improvement. So make improvement your key focus. Darvox, I don't believe I've seen you in the chat. Darvox, tell us what game you play. Maybe a bit about yourself. And yeah, Matei, oof, big oof. It's okay. It's not that bad, to be honest. As long as I have my like benchmarking scores, that's the only thing I really I only care about. So I think we're okay. We'll survive. See, moments like that, it says I got a high score, but I don't know. I don't think it saved my old high scores. I don't think I'm allowed to celebrate that. To be fair, when I say that about Aim Labs, I'm not trying to rip on Aim Labs for doing that, for not saving it to my account. I just thought they would because we have an account in this. Whereas I'm pretty sure with Kovacs it's the same. Like if I go on Steam somewhere else and I play Kovacs, it's not going to save my high scores. Like maybe I'm on the leaderboard still with my high scores, but it doesn't save all the data from my past drills. By the way, you said my name right? Dude, sweet. I'm usually really bad with stuff like that. Okay. What's your favorite esports game? I would say my favorite to watch is League of Legends. My favorite to play, I usually like playing FPS games. I used to be a big console FPS player, but these days I'm pretty interested in Valorant. By interested, I mean just interested, not like I play a lot of Valorant. I don't even know if I've played enough games to play ranked in it yet, but I would like to get good at it, assuming that I have time to play it. It'd be fun. I've considered that for like an upcoming challenge, maybe like after my whole research and experimentation with aim training is near complete. Maybe I'll do like some sort of Valorant challenge where I see how much you could improve in a set amount of time. Aim trainer is actually a cheat code. I improved so much. What aim trainer do you use? Do you use AimLab or do you use Kovacs? Console. Yeah, I've heard of Dreams. That's pretty badass, dude. I think that's like, to be fair, a lot of people on console don't even consider aim training the way that people on PC do. So I think that gives you a huge advantage that you use Dreams. Yeah, I'm really sad I can't see like past averages. Yeah. Did you play Minecraft? Dude, I used to play Minecraft when it was alpha. I've like kept up with Minecraft since there's a thing for sure. think when it like first came out, it was like my biggest addiction. And then I don't know. I stopped playing a lot of casual games for most of my life, but every once in a while my friends and I will kind of relive our nostalgia and hop back in it and play a run through of it, kill the dragon, and then stop playing it for another year or so. Do the speed run, then play the next year. We don't necessarily speed run it. We'll usually just like play really casually. It'll be like a, you know, a couple hours a night for a few weeks, and then we'll just kind of, once we beat the dragon, we like lose motivation and stop playing it. You guys have so many modes to pick from and train your specific things. We only have 10 modes to pick from. Have you heard of Dream? He's a beast. I haven't heard of him as like an actual player, but I've heard of just like the Dreams game that he made. I also agree. I think like it usually stuff on console is like really limited for aim training. But what a lot of people do to kind of overcome that is they'll end up plugging their controller into PC and just using Kovacs. And I really recommend that for high-level players, for sure. If you get to a point where your aim isn't really improving with Dreams, I'd recommend making that upgrade and just training on Kovacs. Or AimLab. You try AimLab. Hussein. What up, Coach B? It's me, Hassan, on a different account. Oh, okay. Fair. Different account. Crazy, dude. It's good to see you, man. hands feel so cold today, dude. Are you going to practice aim in game? Not necessarily practice aim in game. If I have some time today, maybe I'll try to play some sort of game, but I'm mostly focused on just doing aim labs for this 10-day challenge. I tried E-Athlete. All I'm saying, they should be banned as my performance. Like, you mean E-Advantage, the supplement? Improve my brain so much. Yeah, man, we get a lot of people saying like really great things about it, and I always say, like, quite honestly, you know, there's science behind it, so yeah, gotta rely on the science. I'm trying to just get my hands warmed up. Dr. Levi says just rub your hands together. The pills. Yeah, the supplement. That's awesome, dude. I'm glad you like it. I take it every morning. I love E-Advantage. I'm trying to figure out what music to play in the background. I know that Twitch is getting really crazy these days with music. If you guys haven't seen that, look into that. They're basically just like deleting everyone's VODs if you have any sort of like copyright music in it, which is kind of shitty. So I'm trying to use other stuff, and obviously it doesn't play very well in the background. Let's see. I downloaded their thing, which is just soundtrack, so we can do their lo-fi hip-hop beats. Play that in the background. It's kind of weird though. I feel like everyone's gonna be playing the same music at the same time. How would I pronounce your name? Wani? Wani? Got the cool glasses coming through, trying to play it smooth. I like to see it. Tell us a bit about yourself. What games you play? Nintendo music? Lol, it's chill. This is the lo-fi chill music. I want some like non-lyric stuff, but I know there's lyrics in this. Or is it? It's not full lyrics. I don't even know what they're saying in it. They have a playlist called Beats to Stream To. What do they have here? This is chill. Crazy. Make your own music. Coach B on the beat. Yo, let's do it. Jazz. I like jazz. I'm into jazz. I also have another service for music that we use for all the YouTube stuff. They have this cyberpunk playlist. I kind of dig it. For anyone who doesn't know what cyberpunk is, cyberpunk music is basically anything that you hear Dr. Disrespect play. Cyberpunk is like, I guess, like 80s style. 80s electronic, maybe? The build up to this, eh? Crazy. Lower it a little bit. It's a little too intense. Okay. Focus. Aim training. I think I'm almost done the first half hour of the day. What do you guys think of this music? I usually just do lo-fi, so this is like kind of weird for me. Take it like 2 notches down. Nice. Wani, dude, tell us what game you play. I'm curious. Are you a first-person shooter? Are you an FPS player? Cool, sweet. Done the first round. Let's update my training here. We got my aim goal from 9 to 9.5. Let's get it. How do you get into the science side of esports? Because everyone was talking about setting is the way to improve while you came out of the blue with the facts. I think I just I don't know. I think I'm always interested in the science of everything. Like everything that I get interested in, I'm like, I wonder what the science of this is. And I usually don't trust people who pretend that they know what they're talking about. I think there's a lot of people who might have good ideas, but unless they can back it up with some sort of evidence, then I don't really trust it. So I always feel like if I have ideas, then I need to find the science behind it to back it up, and if I can't find the science, then I don't think it's worth sharing usually. So yeah. Fizzy, my god, good to see you, Fizzy. Right, here we go again. Of course. I also kind of like this song. This is like trap beats, almost like trap hip hop, lo-fi trap. We also have, what is this, Weekend League vibes? Yeah. Epic Gaming. Okay, this seems like a chill playlist. Let's run with it. See what happens. How many days are you about to waste on this? This is day 4 out of 10, dude. Trust it's worth it. Lima. Okay, still how many days? Yeah, I have 6 more days. After today, 6 more days. This tip is consistency with aim trainer. I agree, dude. Wani is gonna start using aim lab. Do you use any aim trainers right now, or do you not? If not, then yeah, I'd highly recommend aim lab. If it's like your first aim training experience, is a good place to start. Although a lot of people say that once you are at an average level of skill or above, then aim lab isn't as useful. At that point, they use paid aim trainers. You try to go pro. I haven't committed to any games long enough to even attempt it, if I'm honest. I don't think I'm that interested, to be fair. I really love what I do right now. Like, I think the coaching and science side of esports is just more fascinating for me. Yeah, I think like a prerequisite if you want to go pro is just being dedicated to a game and being passionate enough where you're willing to train 8 hours a day for it. I just never really got that with any games. Maybe in the short run, but like short-term motivation is not the same as long-term passion. And I've learned that with a lot of people that we've coached too, is they don't really have that commitment to games. And you need that if you want to go pro, man. Yo, what should I tell my friend if his percentage in aim lab is 36%? Because accuracy is only 36%? I would recommend him to take it slower and focus purely on accuracy and being slow and smooth. Been playing COD since age 6? Dude, it's a long time. Assuming that you're not like 8 or something. But if you like COD so much, is that something that you want to go pro in? Is that like your game that you're committed to? Unseen. Yeah, 17 now. Yeah, okay. 11 years of Call of Duty. That's a lot of time, dude. Are you trying to be competitive with it? Are you trying to go to tournaments and stuff? Bruh, my friend barely hits shots. He needs to just take it slow, man. I think that's a tip that we even saw a lot in the research, and I'm trying to apply myself, is trying to go slower and smoother. Don't worry about speed until you have that smoothness. And unseen on the dynamic targets, try tracking them before clicking instead of raw click timing them. Okay, that's a good tip. I like that. Yeah, I've been trying, but as soon as I see no players, I automatically get nervous and actually can't relax and play my game. Yeah, take your ego out of it, man. I think that's like a big barrier for a lot of people, and it sounds like that's kind of affecting you. Is you're trying to be good without trying to improve. You're trying to maintain this certain status you've built for yourself, but you need to like actively just try to improve, even if that means like losing or not doing well in the short term. Just do what it takes to challenge yourself, to try new things. Play against tougher people if you can. So the metagaming personally with Asu scenario and coaching, it leads to better click timing flow. Yeah, Unseen, I think that's a really good tip. I like that. I get so nervous from ranked. If I play ranked 4 days in a row, start having the game and take a 10-day break. Dude, that's too big of a break. You shouldn't be doing that to yourself. Like, if you have the anxiety, then definitely do take the break. But like, you need to fix that, man. Like, a lot of that anxiety is just based on like trying to hit a certain rank, just purely a results mindset. I can tell none of you guys have taken the esports elite course. This is like a big part of the esports elite course, is like how to get over this aspect of like performance versus learning mindsets. Improvement mindset is huge. I agree for sure. Holy shit, it's like 4 o'clock my time. I need to finish my coffee. I have like a rule with myself where I don't like to drink coffee or tea or anything too late. I don't want to mess with my sleep. Sleep number 1, dudes. See how fast Eddie Moro would get good tier aim. Dude, I love the reference. Me too, man. I'm sure it'd take him like, he'd play each of these once or twice and then he'd like master them. It's not ego, I don't think it. At least my thought process is I'm not going to win against them because they are better or right when I'm about to go in a gunfight. I'm not the same player that I used to be, so I'm gonna lose the gunfight. Dude, that's okay. Ego is like it's hard to tackle. But like, here's the thing, man. If you have a fear that people are better than you, that's ego. That means your fear is you're gonna lose. And like, why are you scared you're gonna lose? You're scared you're gonna lose because you think that it's gonna set you back in your progress. But usually losing means that you gain opportunities to learn, or that you're challenging yourself enough that losing does happen. And if you're challenging yourself that much and you're learning from your losses, then you're improving. You're actually getting better. In the short term, it doesn't look that way, but in the long term, that's how getting better happens. And I'm sorry if this sounds like tough on you, but like this is like one of the biggest mindsets you need if you want to improve. You got to be able to risk your short-term progress, and you got to kind of let go of that need for it. Let me get some caffeine. I love this like old Nintendo style music. This is great. Wait, what's any time frame for when you might release this video? Honestly, not necessarily. I have a few videos that are like kind of in the works already, so definitely not for a couple months, but we'll see what happens. I might do like a short video on the bonus channel just covering my like 10-day challenge, and then I might just do a bigger, longer video on overall aim training in a couple months on the main channel. I'll take anything as long as... Wait, what is the e-gaming advantage supplement? Like it's basically just like a focus in energy supplements with ingredients that you wouldn't find in an energy drink, that are able to improve your focus a bit better, including L-theanine and ginkgo biloba, which helps improve memory, according to the research. So it's basically just like an alternative for energy drinks, and it's a lot healthier because there's no sugar and crap in it, basically. I'll take anything as long as I improve and actually go over the stage. I'm of whatever things you give me. Right, because sometimes we're too ignorant to see the hard truth. E-Advantage gaming supplements. Fizzy, one day this will be history. Fizzy E-Advantage will improve you significantly. Say no more. Sense. Your description made it kind of boring, lol. It's like a vitamin that can improve your brain performance. Datsy. Yeah, like I don't want to like overhype anything that's related to Athlete Labs. I never want to come across as salesy. I think like just look at the information on the website and check it out for yourself. See if it's worth trying yourself. Like everything that we have on the website, lots of people purchase and they love, so I never feel the need to try and like sell anything to you guys. Like worst case scenario, I'm always gonna give away free content on YouTube, so if you don't have a lot of money, just stick to that. If you want to go beyond that, then and support Athlete Labs, and that's amazing. As an example, like the program where we train people, like the coaching and the esports elite program, like that's like we have lots of students, lots of people love it and get amazing benefits out of it, but I never recommend it for like low level players who aren't passionate or who are kind of at a low amateur stage. We see the best results with people who are committed to their game, and we help them kind of get to a semi-professional level. Weird, I just watched your interview with the Brain Dude on the second channel this morning, and later today decides to aim train. Now I've seen your live doing aim training. Oh, hell yeah, dude. How do you know? How do I pronounce your name? Swilo? So Swilo, tell us what game you play. How important is aim training on controller? Also, rip the pepperoni. Dude, you're new to the chat. Feel free to tell us what game you play. Aim training on controller is still very useful. So if you want to go above and beyond what most players do, then I highly recommend it. I'm struggling right now with the mental side of gaming. I've been getting very angry and tilted lately. I'm trying to get back to my old Sparky benchmarks on Kovacs, and it's pissing me off. I'm so much worse than I was because I stopped aim training for months. Yeah, man, I think that's just like, that's how mechanical skills work. You just gotta be patient with yourself and keep putting in the work. because I feel like this is happening to everyone I know, including myself. Oh my god, I need to turn off autocorrect. Brain, this might be a scenario best suited for beginning of your routine, as it forces you to focus on precise basic mechanics at a slow speed. Then you're moved to higher reps in the same time frame with something like grid shot and line trace. That's fair, man. If I'm like properly organizing the routine, that's fair. I think I just shuffled it, to be honest. We ride together, we die together, Fizzy and Swilo Gaming. I play Rainbow Six and Rogue Company. Ooh, badass. We get a lot of Rainbow Six people in the chat, so you're definitely not alone, man. Play Apex, Fortnite, Halo, and some other FPS. Historically, I stuck with one game for years and got really good. What are you playing these days? What's your main game right now? Aren't we getting like free coaching lesson? Giving so many tips on stream? Yeah, of course, man. I love helping you guys as much as I can. To be fair though, anything that's within the Esports Elite course and coaching is way beyond what I can give you on stream. In fact, usually through the course, and if you get the coaching, you end up working with at least 3 different coaches, so you get a lot of information. Lately I've been trying to aim train rather than focusing on specific games since they're kind of boring. Okay, Fizzy. YouTube fan, come over to Twitch. YouTube fam, come over to Twitch. Yeah, if you guys like Twitch better, feel free to. Also, I took the advice from the fastest way to improve in rank up video, and it's working flawlessly. Dude, pepperoni, I'm glad to hear, man. Anytime someone says something like about them improving because of a video, it's very motivating, and it makes me want to keep making videos, so that's awesome to hear, dude. Yeah, let me catch up. I've been playing competitive games for about 20 years. I actually did a lot of coaching in Fortnite. I'm 33 years old now. I really like what you're doing with your YouTube channel. That means a lot. The depth you go into compared to other channels about the mental side of competitive gaming is very good. I've recommended your stuff to a lot of kids. Damn, that's sweet. I really appreciate that, man. I think that's it's kind of the style that I want things to. I want all of esports to kind of be like that. I don't want to be the only channel out there going this deep into and trying to figure out science behind things. I think every once in a while I stumble upon other people in esports who are trying to come up with new theories and ideas and really go in depth on esports, and I love that, man. I love seeing that. So yeah, I don't know, that stuff excites me, and hopefully I think in like 20 years from now, esports will be a lot more intelligent when it comes to how to improve faster. So I'm excited to help kind of pave the way in a sense, and make my mark and hopefully inspire others to do the same. Hobby on aim trainer, already done 10 hours, but the grind never stops. Oh yeah, it never stops. Your fault. I'm so happy that I found your channel. I feel like if I didn't find it, I would have been stuck at games. Dude, Fizzy, I'm glad you found the channel too. I'm glad you found the stream too. It's really good to see you come through. Saves me too. I just started streaming as a hobby, but I'm seriously considering doing some kind of coaching on stream and even making YouTube videos. Dude, do it. Highly support that. It's a good decision. I can't stream, my internet connection is super slow. Honestly, my internet isn't even that good. I'm surprised that this is coming through okay. Okay, well, yeah, I think yours is a little worse than mine. Hopefully soon enough we'll all have super internet with 5G and whatever comes next. Tense. What's your background in gaming? Like what games did I play? Let me see. Where did the music stop? Into that playlist. Next play. Let's try this one. I used to play a lot of console games. I used to be a console FPS player. I think I played a lot of Call of Duty over the years. That was probably my main game when I was younger. And then eventually, my friends will start playing League of Legends, so I played that relatively casually. And I think I would just keep bouncing back to playing FPS games on console, to be honest. Eventually, I kind of stopped playing a lot of games and started just focusing on eAthlete Labs. So, quite honestly, throughout the past few years, I've played casually every once in a while some games, but I don't have enough time to try and get good at anything, or haven't had enough time. But this year is kind of inspired to, I don't know, to get interested in FPS games on PC specifically. I think when I was, I don't know if I've mentioned this to you, but I was in Korea most of this year, and every time I'd meet a friend who was like also into gaming, we'd always kind of bond over going to what they call like basically like gaming lounges, and it was always FPS games, or sorry, always PC games. So we would go and we'd play FPS games on PC, and eventually I was like, you know what, I really suck at this. I really suck at keyboard and mouse aiming. I wish I could get good at this. And then when I came back home, I guess I kind of started this experiment. So that's where I'm at now. Also, do you have any advice on discipline and staying consistent with certain habits? It really depends the habit that you're trying to develop. Overall, I try to say eliminate as many pain points as you can. The harder a habit is to do and the more you're struggling with it, the more it'll create a negative feedback loop and it'll never stick. So like if you want to, start working out every single day, if you make your initial goal to be like 2 hours of working out, or you're starting with something really intense like CrossFit and you absolutely hate it, it's going to create a negative feedback loop. So every time your brain says, oh, it's workout time, it'll get like scared and it'll be like, oh no, I don't want to do that. So try to make it fun at the start until something becomes a habit. Try to make it as easy as possible to start doing. Is it bad that I'm trying to go pro but not teaming with anyone? Yes, I would say so. Because let's say you get to the top of the leaderboard and you start trying out for teams. Teams are gonna be like, okay, like what's your team experience? How good are your communication skills? How good are you at callouts? Are you an in-game leader? And then you're gonna be like, no, like I'm not good at any of that stuff. And then they're gonna go for the other guy who's also good but has those skills. League of Brawl Legends. So what have you played? Kovacs and tried Aimer7's Guide or Sparky Benchmarks? I've played Kovacs. I've read about Aimer7's guides and his like aim training routine. I've even talked to Aimer7. I've messaged him on Discord and chatted with him before. And I've seen the stuff on Sparky's resources, but I haven't committed fully to either of the routines. I think Aim Labs is like a good introduction because It's what a lot of people will start playing before they get into Kovacs. Most people don't want to pay for an aim trainer until they've kind of explored what aim trainers are like. So I think this is a good place for me to start, and I honestly think that eventually I'll start using the Aimer 7 and Sparky resources for routines, and hopefully come up with my own routines based on them. I think it'd be interesting to see, based on my knowledge, if I think that they are the best options out there. But I think they will be a good starting place. It's crazy that people don't consider to improve their brain performance. That's actually insane. I don't understand that either. Like, it's like if, I don't know, in sports like football or basketball or something, people are just like not worried about their bodies at all. They're not trying to like get stronger. They're not worried about what they put in their bodies. They're just like, physique doesn't matter to them. Physical performance doesn't matter. That's what I feel like a lot of people think of in esports. It's like they don't even consider their brain performance. It blows my mind. But I think that's just because esports is so young. I think in like, again, like 10-20 years from now, things will be a lot different. It's Brit. Good to see you, it's Brit. How's it going? How's your day going? It's the one that does everything. Yeah, how do I improve my brain performance? Have you ever seen the eAthlete Labs YouTube channel? Actually, funny enough, Izzy, the next 2 videos that are lined up are specifically about improving brain performance, so keep an eye out, man. I think you'll like them. I want to eat healthier, but go to encourage mama to buy and cook healthier meals. That's fair. That's fair. Music is fire though. Okay. I think healthy eating is definitely a good way to improve brain performance for sure. Sleeping, eating, and exercise, those are like the easiest ways to improve your brain performance. Get a sufficient 8 hours of sleep every night. Try to go to sleep at the same time every night. Eat healthy food. Don't eat anything with added sugar in it. And do some sort of exercise every day, even if it's only 20 minutes a day. Those sound like simple tips, but man, they're life-changing. Where are you from? I'm from the great white Canadian North. King of the North up here. Hey bro, I watch your channel, but I think I'm a dumbass and still couldn't improve my brain performance. Oh my god. I just proved them. No, it's okay. Also, meditation too is very good for brain performance. Firsthand, I've seen myself play better after I meditate. Yeah, definitely, Pepperoni. I 100% am on board with that. I do some sort of meditation every day. Lately, it's been neurofeedback, which we'll have a video about that soon. Can I be a dumbass but still go pro? Probably, yeah. I have a friend, my duo, we played for some amount of time, same amount of years, but he's the best player I've ever seen. How? But one thing is he always challenged himself. But one thing is he always challenged himself. Is that really it? Yeah, probably. Like, just the simple aspect of if you're practicing the right way and challenging yourself the right way, you're constantly making improvements. If you're not, you're just stagnating and hitting skill plateaus. So that might just be the only key difference, man. Yo, how do I challenge myself? It's against pros in CDL. It makes them look like a joke. Yo, that's badass. How I challenge myself? Really depends on the game. Really depends what your weaknesses are. Find your weaknesses and try to practice them. Yavin Base, dude. I think you're new to the chat. Tell us what game you play, man. I want to hear. And what program is that? This is in fact AimLab. That sounds fun. In my 2 years of coach, pretty high level Fortnite gamers, I've found that the fastest improvement comes from figuring out where they are currently and finding ways to challenge them. Yeah, dude, just above their current abilities. I like that. So instead of 1v1 box fights and build fights like most people do, I have them do 1v2. So depending on how good they are, I have them do 1v3 some kids. Dude, that's crazy. I like that. Sounds like some good techniques. Star Wars Squadron, but I'm a longtime eAthlete Labs viewer. Damn, dude. That's really cool. As someone who's like into non-FPS games, or I guess like, I don't know, what's Squadron like? Do you need aiming skill? What do you think about like aim training? What are your thoughts on it? I know someone that used to upload similar content to you, but he deleted all the videos. Damn, that's really sad. I don't know why you do that. Yo, dude, depending on the... Okay, you do depending on the cannon you equip to your ship. The flashbacks. Ah, okay. Was never very good. That's alright, that's alright. Are you like a very competitive guy when it comes to games, or are you more casual? In other words, the biggest thing is simply challenging yourself. That can be difficult for a few reasons. One is that many people don't enjoy challenging themselves. It's more fun to just 1v1 and win. Yeah, fair. Another is that some people don't know the thing holding them back in the first place. They don't know that the thing holding them back is that they aren't challenging themselves. That's very fair. I also think that some people just don't know how to challenge themselves specifically. They don't understand like what kind of drills they would set up in order to push themselves to the next level. Do you have any more insight on that? Like maybe something Fortnite specific? Like what kind of things do you think people don't know how to challenge themselves on, and what kind of drills would you recommend for them? I need to stretch out my hands more. We're extremely competitive, but I play tabletop miniature games, more tactical than reflex based. When at national tournaments, co-host a podcast. Game is Star Wars Legion. Yo, that's badass, Yavin. I watch your channel for the mindset stuff. It's super helpful. Yo, Yavin, you're pretty cool. You can stick around in the chat. Fizzy, you're not cool anymore. No, I'm kidding. Fizzy, it's all right. Take it easy. Hopefully, you can catch me in the next stream. How do you actually develop pattern recognition at FPS? I heard it's pretty important for improvement. Pattern recognition is, like what specific are you looking for in terms of pattern recognition? There's different ways you could apply that to FPS games, like prediction of enemy patterns, or usually it's just like decision making. Honestly, I would say like reviewing your games and trying to predict people. That's the first thing that comes to mind, at least. Yo boy, hope you're good. Yo, James Charles, good to see you, man. Hope you're doing good. One of the first things I do is ask how many thousands of kids are trying to do the same thing you're doing. The answer is always tons of people are trying the same thing. Dude, that's a great point. A lot of people are just trying to do the exact same thing. Yeah. Getting those hand stretches in. For everyone who missed it, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. We were watching Dr. Levi's hand stretching routines, and I kind of swear by it now, man. I think stretching my hands in between aim training is helping quite a bit so that I don't have that muscle and central nervous system fatigue. So many kids are aim training, practicing, building, edits, etc. The difference between them and the top players is largely training optimally. Biggest difference is challenging themselves properly. It is scientifically proven that the fastest way to improve is to just train above the current skill level. Yeah, I'm a big believer in that. Like, I think at its core, things like practicing aim training and edits and whatnot is in fact important, but it's just probably the way that they train, or like even things like if you're aim training, what aspect of your aim are you practicing and why are you practicing it? You should be focusing on your weaknesses specifically. I need some of those. I grip the fight stick way too hard. I think tension equals control, but that's wrong. Yeah, Yavin, I'm being too tense with the mouse whenever I don't stretch out my hands, so I'm trying to like loosen my hands up. How much do you train per day? You focus more on accuracy or speed? Right now I'm trying to kind of find a balance, but I'm leaning more towards accuracy just because that's the right thing to do. And right now my goal is to train 3 hours a day for 10 days and see where that leads me. One of the ways a coach is so useful. Someone on the outside looking in, it can be difficult to be honest with yourself. A coach will be honest. Highly agree with that. I think that's a key point. You can't know exactly what you need to work on and how challenging they should be based on your current skill level unless you can completely be honest with yourself. Fair. Block weaknesses, find strengths, and make your strengths even stronger. Well, okay. One approach. I think the idea of like focusing on your strengths and then trying to be unique is like good if you're already good at the game, because that kind of separates you from other players. But until you're good at the game, I think that's not a good way to think of it. Nice. We are done the next round. Okay, let's update my aim goal. You're now officially at 10 hours. Beauty. Love to see it, boys. Making progress. We're a third of the way down the challenge. It's crazy. My score is 40, but now 100. And I have a question for you. It's something I have asked so many coaches and top players, including Amber7, by the way. I know you have talked about this in videos before. Do you think age plays a role whether or not you can become a top tier gamer? Is this part of your research? Yes, James Charles, it is. So aside from the obvious, more responsibility, thus less time put in the game purely mentally. Okay, so yeah, let's say you have all the time in the world and you're like, let's say like a good age is like late 20s, early 30s age, and you want to get really good at a game. If you've never played a MOBA game, I don't honestly think you can become a pro in League of Legends. I just don't think, I don't know, I just don't think that you'd be able to compete with people. I think you could get to the top like 5% of players realistically, even if you've never played a MOBA before and you put in the time, maybe even the top 1% of players, but I don't think you'd play at the top like 0.01% of players, right? But if you have a history within, let's say you've played like CSGO your entire life, at age 26, let's say you've played CSGO your entire life and you want to play Valorant professionally, and it's kind of similar in a lot of ways, and let's say you're really good at it. Let's say you learned a lot of the game knowledge of it, you understand how games like that work, you understand aim training and aiming skills. I think you could realistically pick up a game and go pretty far with it. Like, there's a lot of high level players who are professional and like relatively old in esports terms, and there's actually a lot of research on how we can basically maintain our skills through our youth into old age, even like up to like pretty old age. There's like cases of people who are like 85 years old who like relearn how to play the piano and most of their skill comes back. Like, it's crazy how much the brain can retain information if you learned it at a younger age. I just think you need to have some sort of history with it in order to have that, your brain, like essentially your brain has absorbed that information in the past, so you're relearning most of it, and then you kind of push that skill into a professional level. Yeah, I don't think it's far-fetched. I think that's realistic. I honestly think the reason that doesn't happen a lot is just because of time and motivation. I don't think people who are older have the time. They're very concerned about their careers and going to school and stuff. Maybe even just starting a family, things like that. And then a lot of them don't have the motivation. They don't really care enough to sit down and play a game all day. I want to play pro, but I'm not sure if we'll be able to support myself in terms of money when things get rough. Do you have any perspective on what should do? I mean, like, you gotta plan this all out so it's not a worry. Like, the last thing you want to do is be like midway through grinding, even like on teams and playing in tournaments, and still have that worry, because eventually that'll like cause you to burn out. I'd say try to figure out the money side of it as soon as you can, even if that means just working a part-time job. I think a lot of people become pros while still maintaining a part-time job or maintaining school, and then once they hit the pro scene and they start making money, they're able to kind of drop it and commit full-time. Played Halo at the top level in Halo 2 and 3, number 1 Hunter in WoW, Diamond, LOL, made some money in Fortnite tournaments, etc. I'm 33 and it feels like it's becoming more difficult to be that good. Like, do you think it's that you don't commit as much time to it, or you're not as motivated, or do you think it's just like your brain is slower in some ways? Because there's a lot of arguments that people aren't at their maximum intelligence until they're in their like mid 40s. So in theory, the game knowledge and game sense aspects can still keep improving for quite a while. I have 340 hours of deliberate aim training in Kovacs. I still am below average at aiming, starting to feel like I've hindered my aim right now. I'm at the top 0.3% of the player base. Also, Mecha, good to see you. Someone new in the chat. Wait, okay, if you're in the top 0.3% of the player base, are you really below average at aiming? I don't know if that doesn't sound that accurate. What's the difference between the roles of coaches and analysts? Coaches are focused on improvement. Analysts are focused on breaking down games, I guess. There's probably a better definition, but that's the first thing that comes to my mind. Baroni, thanks a lot. Mecha, you likely aren't challenging yourself properly. Not playing the right routines or not challenging in those scenarios. Don't you reach your peak at age 27? Depends what you mean by peak. There's the research that shows differences in peak reaction time versus peak intelligence, peak learning ability. There's a lot of like peaks for the brain, and they all happen at different stages of life. And yeah, I agree that Mecha, if you've trained 340 hours within aim training and you're still below average, and that's like real, you're definitely not training in the right way. You're not challenging yourself enough. You're probably playing the exact same routines or playing routines that are easy for you. You also need to identify what aspect of your aim you're trying to improve. Is it precision? Is it tracking? Is it smoothness? Like where's your weakness in aiming? All right, actually, before I dive into more aim training, I'm gonna do a quick bathroom break, and then I'm gonna do the rest standing up. All right. On. We have 2 more hours of aim training to do today. I'll at least do another full 30-minute round here. Then I might end up taking a break, and then I'll probably finish the rest later. Currently I'm playing the Flickered Scene, top Kovacs player. Biggest issue is clear. I'm becoming more and more grumpy while gaming, which tilts me. Ooh. In other words, tilt is becoming worse as I get older, which is by far my biggest weakness. Using BPM to keep up pace. Also, Mecha, like, are you saying you're below average among all aimers, or within routines that are like very niche? Because sometimes if you use like a routine that someone set, like in the Sparky's Discord, a lot of those routines have like 2,000 players and they're probably like top aimers already, so you might be below average among the top like 5% of players, so that's not that bad. Yo, Mate, how you so awake? What's going on? I understand the science behind tilts. That's the thing I need to work on. I said I'm gonna do the rest standing up, as in I'm gonna spend this this next little aim training 30-minute session standing up because I have a standing desk. All right, Mate, have a good night. Get some sleep in. Diamond on the benchmark, and I'm struggling to reach gold after a few month break. It's tilting me. That's fair. That's fair. Suilo, I understand. Also, your point on tilt. That's very interesting. That's interesting that you find that with age, you feel like you're like almost grumpier in a way. Do you also think that there might be like lifestyle factors affecting that, like more responsibilities making you more stressed, or like less sleep or anything like that? Because those could be factors. Oh, Pepperoni, are you going to bed too, or are you saying goodnight to Mate? You just have less patience for buggy games and shitty people. That's fair. Around silver, gold, and Sparky's benchmarks. Okay, you're definitely not below average in overall aiming skill then. Fortnite runs like garbage compared to the games I've played. That pisses me off. Interesting. Back then, forced to play versus controller players. Ah, interesting. Okay, Pepperoni's sticking around. Untoggled. Do you know who I am? Where are you? I hate that I've trained my aim hard for 2 years straight and I can still be beaten by 12-year-old kids who use old Xbox from his uncle and that's 200. Those kinds of things get me tilted, you know. That's fair. You can literally be the best player in the world and still die to a child on a controller if you aren't very careful. Oh, Mate. What? Wait, what? You just... Oh, okay. You switched from... You said good night. You lied. You said you're going to bed. Yeah, Suilo, I understand why that stuff can be frustrating. I guess, though, like... The improvement mindset of that is like, okay, well then I have to challenge myself to have like better positioning or to be more careful around people, which like you could almost just pretend that they're not console players. Pretend that they're just really good PC aimers, and that they're like you're just playing with people who are way better at aiming than you. Then just try to think like, how could I outsmart them? What could I do that could allow me to beat them? That would be like the beneficial mindset you could have there. I go sleep. You're right. I understand what you're saying. The fact is that they'll just run at you with an SMG and spray into your box and kill you instantly with 0 skill. It happens the best in Fortnite. Oh, it sounds frustrating. It's true. That's what I do in Apex. I can just about outsmart anyone in my rank. Damn, that's badass. That's why you're in the top 0.3% of players, dude. Sometimes there's nothing you can do. Also, Mecha, are you like playing in tournaments or playing with like a team or anything? Do you YouTube full time? I don't know if I'd say I YouTube full time. I'd say YouTube is one of the things that I do. I usually spend a lot of my other time just running eAthlete Labs. I just don't have patience anymore. I'm just an angry, tilted old gamer. I need to figure that out because it's becoming much harder to enjoy the game. Thankfully, I really enjoy the process of improving 2 times more than actually playing anymore. That's a good silver lining. Also, I guess like the first step is just recognizing that that's something you need to work on, and just try to treat that like a weakness in the game. Try to improve that mindset as much as you can, and try to keep looking for new ways to practice more positive mindsets. You can probably sense my negativity. It's flowing through me, and especially bad day yesterday. Oh, that's fair. That's all right, man. No worries. I don't play any tournaments because you can't do it solo. I would love to though. Damn, Mecha. Do you want to play in tournaments? Do you want to do like duos or anything like that? Like, look at that. After 30 hours, what's next? I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll dive into a Kovacs routine for a bit. We'll see. I'm just really curious to find out what my results are like after 30 hours. Any tips on staying more positive in crappy situations? I know you've talked about that a lot in your videos. Yeah, I guess I'd reference back to some of those videos you can find what I used to recommend. I think like I don't know, man. I think like a lot of the times I always just kind of think back to like every time I recognize I'm being negative, I realize that that's because I'm playing to have fun or I'm playing to win, and those are fine at times. But if I want to improve, then it means that I'm gonna lose. So if I ask myself, am I playing to win or am I playing to improve? If my answer is I'm playing to win, then I kind of correct myself and I think, okay, well, like how can I switch that to I'm trying to improve here? And I actively work on that improvement mindset. And I also think that goes with the idea of having fun. Usually if you're just trying to play casually and have fun, losing is equally as frustrating. So I usually think in a competitive game, if I'm like, am I just trying to have fun? And the answer is yes, and I'll be like, okay, well, like maybe it'll actually be more fun if I'm trying to improve, if that's my goal. And usually it is. It's usually more fun to focus on improvement rather than winning. Talk about that a lot in your videos. Something I tell kids all the time: play to improve, not to win. The win will come. But I still get angry. I'm gonna try out aim labs. Maybe trying a different aim trainer will help. Yeah, you definitely try it. I definitely don't have that command on, but UMUT 48 Pro. I don't believe I've seen you in the chat. Feel free to tell us what games you play and perhaps what your perspective on aim labs is. Also, Suilo, like, through our program, we work with a performance psychologist. He would definitely have a lot better ideas than me on this. But I know one thing that we've talked about together is the idea of when someone's kind of like tilting, the first step is identifying the trigger. Like, what is it that tilts you specifically? Is it your own performance? Is it like not meeting expectations? Is it the social pressure? Is it dumb teammates? Is it the enemy? And then trying to find basically mindset tricks that work for you. There's like a million different mindsets you can adopt. Not all of them will work for every individual, but trying to find which ones work for you. And then you have to just like kind of program that into your brain so that it becomes subconscious. A good way to do that is just like start journaling about it every time it happens. Every time you get angry or upset, just trying to figure out, like, ask yourself questions, ask why, ask what a better mindset might be, and actively journaling about it. Sharky, Kovacs, or aim labs better for Fortnite? Which one's better for Fortnite? Probably Kovacs, to be honest. There's also a lot of really good in-game aim training drills in Fortnite, I believe. I'm not a Fortnite player, it's just from what I've seen. I'll let you focus more on aim training. I'm going to do the same. Nice chatting. It's mostly not meeting my own expectations. That's fair. I don't know, maybe think about that. Think about like what your expectations are for yourself and why they're so high if you think that they're too high. I mean, also, like Suelo, if like one thing that's really interesting about all people is that the advice we give to ourselves is different than the advice we give to other people. It's like harder to like, it's harder to fix problems in ourselves than it is for other people. And so a good way to like get around that is to pretend that you're giving advice to someone else. It seems easier when we're doing that. So if you, as a coach, someone comes to you and they're having the exact same problem as you, what advice would you want to give to them? And think like how much of that could apply to you. Like kind of step outside yourself and think about that. Can you summarize today's video in short? Today's video has mostly just been me practicing. I haven't done any research today. You're so right about that. Very correct. Yeah, I agree. The benefit of having a coach is huge. And I think that applies for all areas of life, to be honest. Like, even coaches will usually have their own coaches of sorts because they understand the value of it. Oh, you're talking about the brain training one. Very correct. That's fair enough, Suelo. Usually the same as having a therapist in gaming. It's important to have someone to help you navigate your emotions and overcome challenges mentally. Yeah, man, I think that's super big, and I think that that's super neglected. The psychological part of esports is something that is pretty new to esports, but I love seeing that it's becoming more and more popular. Like the performance psychologists that we work with through our esports elite program, I think like when I first met him a couple of years ago, like he would have to convince everyone why performance psychology matters in esports. Like he'd be talking to big teams and they'd be like, I don't know if we need that. Luckily over the years that's completely changed, and now I think he's like he's a pretty busy guy now. Super neglected. Yeah. Been saying it for 10 years. Hopefully it'll catch on eventually, man. Also, James Charles, today's video, the interview, basically what we talk about is brain training, neurofeedback, what it is, how it works, and the research behind it. Both the research, the good research that supports certain protocols, and the bad research that is a little iffy. And we kind of figure out why there's good and bad research, what makes good and bad research, and ultimately which parts of neurofeedback we could apply to esports and why it would be beneficial. And I will end up making like a video on the eAthlete Labs main channel that's a lot more concise and to the point and easier to understand on the topic of neurofeedback. In short, it's like the only way of effectively training your brain. Like brain games are something that people use, but it doesn't really work. Neurofeedback literally takes the activity of your brain, feeds it back to itself, and it allows it to basically fix itself. And using specific protocols, it can lead to very significant benefits like improved sports performance, reaction time, better sleep, a lot of things. He said it's cool to see so many people talking about it right now, but at the same time, kind of disappointed that it didn't start coaching that many years ago. So I could have been one of the first to talk about it. I was too focused on gaming. That's all right, man. Like now it's still like early days in esports, so you got just like hop on it now, man. Make content, do stuff like that now. Also, I think my game just crashed. Just completely stopped working. Damn. Seems to be interesting. Yeah, it's super interesting. It's like one of my favorite things in terms of like improving your brain. Like I don't know. I think it's gonna become a standard in esports pretty soon. And where was I at my aim training? How far was I in that protocol? You got that it's a little. Yeah, we did line trace and then we did strafe shot and then it crashed. Line trace, strafe shot. All right, restart aim labs. So boys, that's the first time it's ever crashed on me. Okay, so it's about here. If I start here, will it let me hit? I don't think it'll let me just start from the middle. It's so sad. God damn. And yeah, man, Suilo. I imagine that some top players are already using technology like that, and I think they're pretty secretive about it because they know it's an advantage. I think a lot of like semi-pro players who start using it will end up getting a huge advantage, and it'll allow them to reach the pro scene, or at least make it a lot more likely for them to reach the pro scene. Sound echo? Oh shit, still? Oh, never mind. I imagine if everyone in FPS trained like a pro player. Oh, imagine if everyone in FPS trained like a pro player, then the standard for being a pro player would rise, and I think stuff like that is going to happen. That's what happens in every traditional sport. Is the standard to become the best in the world just keeps getting harder and harder, and we keep finding better and better training mechanisms in order to push that boundary, which is kind of cool to see from the outside looking in. Also, I'm really sad about this. What I might do is I might just I'm gonna shuffle it and then I'm gonna do 15 routines, I guess. I don't have to count. Yeah, I might have to just do that. Also my music. My music shall we play the another gaming soundtrack on this website? See what it's like. Oh, it sounds very electronic. That's it? Is it? It's intense. Dramatic. It's a very intense soundtrack. As epic as this is a little too intense. What's this? Sounds kind of fun. Lighthearted. Able to hit headshots, inflict trails almost all the time, even in the toughest mode. Dude, that's badass. James. Killing it. I would say focus on the ones that are focus on the training that seems the hardest for you. If you can hit flicks like really easily, then don't worry about training it. Focus on the stuff that's hard to you. Really on the road of getting a PC. Sounds good, man. Save up, get yourself a decent computer. Training on another device while hearing the stream. Cool, man. That sounds good. Keep the stream open. Give us at least one more viewer. Quite hard to hit and predict. Not even close to somewhere being good. Balls are swinging in the air at a very high speed. Ah, that's okay, man. I think like that's a sign that that's a good drill for you. If a drill feels easy, then it's garbage to you. You need to move on. So if something feels hard, then use that. Put that in your routine until it becomes easy. Hard to predict the movement. Yeah, that'll come eventually. Just gotta keep practicing that. Saprian, good to see you. How you doing? Today going good? High score, holy shit. Yeah, thankfully I visited my grandparents and also had a pretty good day playing League. Badass. That sounds like a great day. How about yours? My day's going good so far. I'm doing a bit of aim training and almost about halfway through it, so this one's frustrating. Like the last one. All right, I'm finally at a point where it's showing me averages again, which is good. Collected enough data today. Yeah, the one with the model crouching. Yeah, that one can definitely be frustrating, but I think that one is like one of the harder ones for me personally, just because moving and tracking is something that I need to work on. So every time I do that, it is a little frustrating, but I think I improve the most when I do drills like that. So it's a valuable one for sure. Also, I have no idea how many drills I just did. I was trying to count 15 drills so that I knew I finished my half hour after including when the game crashed, but if I were to guess, I'm gonna guess I have 3 or 4. I'll say I have 4 more drills. Yeah, let's get some water. All right. Hard work pays off. Hell yeah, it does. Nice. Love these game modes, so satisfying. I agree for sure. Multi. play some league games more. Maybe I'll catch up with you later, coach. Good luck in your training. Thank you, Cyprian. Have a good time playing league. Hopefully you get some wins in. Thank you, Mecca. You ever talk to Ron Rambo Kim? We actually had to postpone the chat to tomorrow, so I'm gonna talk to him tomorrow. Is there any specific questions you want me to ask him? If so, let me know. Okay, I'm sure that's probably, yeah, I'm confident that that would make it 10.5 hours trained. Let's update the goal. Let's see, 10.5. Okay. 10.5 out of 30. That means I have another hour and a half of aim training to do today. But I'm going to, should I take a break now? Yeah, I can take a break now. What I'm gonna end up doing is basically go for a run, get some food, maybe take care of some to-dos that I have to get done today. And then I'm gonna come back on. I'm gonna do another hour and a half of aim training. So if you guys are still around, I'll see you guys later. But for now, thank you guys, everyone who tuned in. I really appreciate it. I love talking to you guys. Today was a very stimulating conversation, and I loved all the questions. Asking just how to stop predicting the target. Not sure I know what you mean by that. We'll dig into that later if you're still on. But anyways,